You don't have to raise your voice to shake the room. Sometimes the quietest person saying the clearest thing causes the greatest disruption. And when that happens, it doesn't mean you're wrong. It might mean you just touched the edge of someone else's illusion. Glad you made it to the Pattern Decoded, which is a weekly vlog where we fuse historical truth, present chaos, and future foresight into one clear transmission. Each week we will build our insight on a 3-leg stool, a painful problem you're likely felt but haven't named, a false belief that's been holding society and maybe you back, and a new belief that can anchor you in clarity and choice. Let's decode today's dynamic with the 3-legged insight stool. So first, painful problem. My clarity is starting to disrupt other people's illusion. False belief to break. If I cause discomfort, I must be wrong. And the new belief to build. Quiet thinkers move history too. Let's unpack what happens when your discernment becomes a mirror others aren't ready to look into. You've probably felt this before. You speak up clearly, calmly, maybe even gently. You're not being provocative. You're just naming what you see. And yet, the room shifts. People tense. Someone gets defensive. Someone shuts down. And suddenly, you feel like the problem. But you're not the problem. You're the signal. You've simply interrupted someone else's carefully constructed version of safety. That's emotional friction, not personal failure. Now, let's name the hidden lie many thoughtful people carry. If I cause discomfort, I must be wrong. This belief comes from systems that reward silence, politeness, and self-editing. But truth is often inconvenient, especially when it contradicts someone's identity, ideology, or illusion of control. Truth doesn't always feel good, but it always clears the fog. If your insight stirs discomfort, it doesn't mean you failed. It might mean you succeeded. You revealed the tension that no one wanted to name. Here's the belief that empowers you to keep speaking. Quiet thinkers move history too. History doesn't always remember the loudest voices, but it always remembers the ones who spoke clearly when it counted. So you don't need to convince. You don't need to overpower. You just need to keep naming what's real with consistency and integrity. Your clarity is legacy work, even if the room isn't ready yet. Let's anchor this week's insight in 2 reflection prompts. Prompt number 1, where have I made myself small to avoid triggering someone else's discomfort? Prompt number 2, what clarity have I been holding back just to keep the peace? And here is an additional action. That's optional. Write down one truth you've been afraid to voice. Not because it's wrong, but because it might shift the dynamic around you. This is where pattern interruption begins, not in aggression, but in courageous clarity. You're not here to be agreeable. You're here to be accurate. Because your voice doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be clear.